12 through 16. And a great sign was seen in heaven, a woman arrayed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown with 12 stars. And she was with child, and she cried out, travailing in birth, and in pain to be delivered. And there was seen another sign in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his heads 7 diadems. And his tail draweth the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon standeth before the woman that is about to be delivered, that when she is delivered, he may devour her child. And she was delivered of a son, a man-child, who is to rule all the nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and unto his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that there they may nourish her 1,260 days. And there was war in heaven, Michael and his angels going forth to war with the dragon. And the dragon warred and his angels, and they prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast down, the old serpent, he that is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was cast down to the earth, and his angels were cast down with him. And I heard a great voice in heaven, saying, Now is come the salvation, and the power, and the kingdom of our God, and the authority of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, who accuses them before our God day and night. And they overcame him because of the blood of the Lamb, and because of the word of their testimony. And they loved not their life even unto death. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe for the earth and for the sea, because the devil is gone down unto you, having great wrath, knowing that he has but a short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast down to the earth, he persecuted the woman that brought forth the man-child. And there were given to the woman the 2 wings of the great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness unto her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth after the woman water as a river, that he might cause her to be carried away by the stream. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the river with the dragon, saying, Cast out of his mouth. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the river which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon waxed wroth with the woman, and went away to make war with the rest of her seed, that keep the commandments of God, and hold the testimony of Jesus. Chapter 13. And he stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast coming up out of the sea, having 10 horns and 7 heads, and on his horns 10 diadems, and upon his heads names of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his throne, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as though it had been smitten unto death. And his death stroke was healed, and the whole earth wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, because he gave his authority unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast, and who is able to war with him? And there was given to him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And there was given to him authority to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth for blasphemies against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, even them that dwell in the heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And there was given to him authority over every tribe and people and tongue and nation. And all that dwell on the earth shall worship him, every one whose name has not been written from the foundation of the world in the book of life of the Lamb that hath been slain. If any man hath an ear, let him hear. If any man is for captivity, into captivity he goes. If any man shall kill with the sword must he be killed. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like unto a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. And he exercised all the authority of the first beast in his sight. And he maketh the earth and them that dwelleth there to worship the first beast, whose death stroke was healed, and he does great signs, that he should even make fire to come down out of heaven upon the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives them that dwell on the earth by reason of the signs which it was given him to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, who hath the stroke of the sword and lived. And it was given unto him to give breath to it, and even to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as should not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, the small and the great, and the rich and the poor, and the free and the bond, that were to be given them a mark on their right hand or upon their forehead, and that no man should be able to buy or sell, save he that hath the mark, even the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. He that hath understanding, let him count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Chapter 14. And I saw, and behold, the Lamb standing on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his name and the name of his Father written on their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And a voice which I heard was as the voice of harps, harping with their harps. And they sing as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four living creatures and the elders. And no man could learn the song save the 144,000, even they that had been purchased out of the earth. These are they that were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they that follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These were purchased from among men, to be the firstfruits unto God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no lie. They are without blemish. And I saw another angel flying in mid-heaven, having eternal good tidings to proclaim unto them that dwell on the earth, and unto every nation, and tribe, and tongue, and people. And he saith with a great voice, Fear God, and give him glory, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made the heaven and the earth, and sea, and foundations of water. And another, a second angel, followed, saying, Fallen, fallen is Babylon the great, that hath made all the saints, all the nations, to drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And another angel, a third, followed them, saying with a great voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receiveth the mark on his forehead or upon his hand, he also shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is prepared unmixed in the cup of his anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment goeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day and night, that they worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saint, they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. And I heard a voice from heaven saying, Write, Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, for their works follow with them. And I saw, and behold, a white cloud, and on the cloud I saw one sitting, like unto a son of man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the heaven, crying with a great voice to him that sat on the cloud, Send forth thy sickle, and reap, for the hour to reap is come, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud cast his sickle upon the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out from the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, he that hath power over fire. And he called with a great voice to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Send forth thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel cast his sickle onto the earth, and gathered the vintage of the earth, and cast it into the winepress, the great winepress of the wrath of God. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and there came out blood from the winepress, even unto the bridles of the horses, as far as 1,600 furlongs. Chapter 15. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having 7 plagues, which are the last, for in them is finished the wrath of God. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that come off victorious from the beast, and from his image, and from the number of his name, standing by the sea of glass, having harps of God, And they sing the song of Moses and the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, O Lord God, the Almighty. Righteous and true are thy ways. Thou King of the ages, who shall not fear, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy, for all the nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy righteous acts have been made manifest. And after these things I saw, and the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And there came out from the temple the 7 angels that had the 7 plagues, arrayed with precious stone, pure and bright, and girt about their breasts with golden girdles. And one of the 4 living creatures gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden bowls, full of the wrath of God, who lives forever and ever. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power, and none was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels should be finished. Chapter 16. And I heard a great voice out of the temple, saying to the 7 angels, Go ye and pour out the 7 bowls of the wrath of God unto the earth. And the first went and poured out his bowl unto the earth, and it became a newsome and grievous sore upon the men that had the mark of the beast, and that worshipped his image. And the second poured out his bowl into the sea, and it became blood as of a dead man, and every living soul died, even the things that were in the sea. And the third poured out his bowl into the rivers and the fountains of the waters, and it became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters say, Righteous art thou, who art and who wast, thou Holy One, because thou didst thus judge. For they poured out the blood of the saints and prophets, and blood hath thou given them to drink. They are worthy. And I heard the altar saying, Yea, O Lord God, the Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. And the fourth poured out his bowl upon the sun, and it was given unto it to scorch men with fire. And the men were scorched with great heat, and they blasphemed the name of God, who hath the power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. And the fifth poured out his bowl upon the throne of the beast, and his kingdom was darkened, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. And they blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and they repented not of their works. And the sixth poured out his bowl upon the great river, the river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way might be made ready for the kings that come from the sun rising. And I saw coming out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, 3 unclean spirits, as it were frogs. For they are spirits of demons, working signs which go forth unto the kings of the whole world, to gather them together unto the war of the great day of God, the Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watch and keep his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And they gathered them together into the place which in Hebrew is called HarMagedon. And the 7th poured out his bowl unto the air, and there came forth a great voice out of the temple from the throne, saying, It is done. And there was lightnings and voices and thunders, and that was an earthquake, such as was not since there was men upon the earth, so great an earthquake, so mighty. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And Babylon the great was remembered in the sight of God, to give unto her cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And great hail, every stone about the weight of a talent, came down out of heaven upon men, and men blaspheming God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof is exceedingly great.